Film censorship is carried out by various countries to differing degrees. Sometimes as a result of powerful or relentless lobbying by organizations or individuals. Films that are banned in a particular country change over time. A motion picture rating system is designated to classify films with regard to suitability for audiences in terms of issues such as sex, violence, substance abuse, profanity, impudence or other types of obscene content. A particular issued rating can be called a certification, classification, certificate. Australia's Australian Classification Board. Australia is regarded by many to be the most restrictive on film ratings of all Western democratic countries, considering its history and prolific refusal of classification to certain films. Although restrictions have eased over the years. In practice, films still get a short cinematic run before they are reviewed and prevented from being shown at cinemas or released on DVD. This is not a comprehensive list. Many films that have been previously banned are not mentioned here. Also not included are the numerous pornographic films deemed too excessive to release under an X18+ category, which are refused classification by the ACB. During the dictatorship in Brazil, that last from 1964 to 1988, several films were banned under the federal law from Brazil 5536 from 1968. During several years a project was being developed to find and publish every document on censorship in films during the dictatorship. The project, Memory of Censorship in Brazilian Cinema, released in 2005 6,000 documents about 175 banned films during the dictatorship. And, finally, in 2007 they released documents for the last 269 films banned at that time. On August 20, 2009, the newspaper Folha de S. Paulo reported that Reed Record bought the broadcasting rights of the documentary from Ellis for less than $20,000 United States dollars. On February 14, 2011, the newspaper Jornal do Brasil reported that Reed Record would be broadcasting the documentary in 2011, on a date yet to be specified. This film about Dee Cavalcanti was banned due a lawsuit opened by Dee Cavalcanti's daughter, Elizabeth. In 1979, the film documented the wake and funeral of the Brazilian painter Dee Cavalcanti. Since 1979 it cannot be shown, at the request of his daughter Elizabeth through preliminary injunction granted by Justice, confirmed in 1983, for sentimental reasons tied with religious ideas. In 1985, the lawyer Felipe Falcon moved an action to reform the judgment by proposing the dispossession of the film by the state on cultural grounds, to the detriment of the heirs of Dee and Glauber. Yet with no solution in sight, Dee Glauber must stay contained in a sealed box. 2004. In spite of everything, João Rocha, nephew of the Glauber Rocha, has placed a copy on video on providers outside of Brazil. The internet users can make free downloads of the movie, proving that censor the cinema in digital age is useless. A Serbian film had its release in Brazil liberated on August 5, 2011. The exception is Rio de Janeiro estate, where the film was forbidden due a lawsuit filed by the Democrats' political party, who claimed that the pedophilia scenes infringe the part of the Brazilian constitution that protects children. The case was overturned in 2012. At present, only films containing prohibited material or under court order are banned in Canadian provinces. In mainland China, film censorship, often on political grounds, is rampant. Films in mainland China are used to be reviewed by the State Administration of Press, Publication, Radio, Film and Television under the Publicity Department. The NFA is separate from the NRTA under the State Council. Main article: Censorship in the Federal Republic of Germany in 1906. The first legislation arose discussing the censorship of film and media. This was met with pushback due to pre-existing legislation regarding censorship of the media. The higher courts deemed the film censorship was indeed legal, however provided no guidance towards individual parts of Germany, creating discrepancies province to province. In Germany, film censorship was abolished in 1918. However, the motion picture law in 1920 created film review boards which were used to screen films that may perpetrate a negative image of Germany to the rest of the world. In India, films are censored by the Central Board of Film Certification, a statutory censorship and classification body under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. Films should be certified by the board to publicly exhibit it in India, including films shown in television. CBFC is considered to be one of the most powerful censor boards in the world due to its strict ways of functioning. All films depicting anything deemed contrary to Islamic morals are banned outright in Iran. Due to the small size of Ireland, films banned by the British Board of Film Classification were rarely even submitted for release in Ireland. Due to the high